All right, there it is. That's Halloween talk. Now let's talk about something far scarier than
Way
Halloween.
scarier.
It is the current state of the Louisville basketball program. They lose to Lenoir-Rhyne.
That
Lenoir-Rhyne?
was perfect. What you just said was perfect.
Lenoir-Rhyne.
I mean,
Lenoir-Rhyne
when
sounds
you're
like
from
a
North Carolina, it just ends up sounding more like Ryan, like,
yeah.
'cause it just, that's just how we talk, but
So first question, Lenoir-Rhyne's in North Carolina?
yes, Hickory,
Okay.
North Carolina.
Hickory, I know Hickory.
Hickory. Not
Hickory.
not that Hickory, not
Yeah.
Hickory High,
Oh,
not
no,
not
not Jimmy
not the
Chitwood
hoot
Hickory,
Jimmy
yeah.
Chitwood did not play for
I was
Hickory
gonna
High
say they
School.
lost. All right, back to Louisville. Lenoir-Rhyne beats Louisville by 10. And this is especially sad, I think, because the Kenny Payne era was supposed to usher in a new hope, basically. You
Yes.
know, like we all know what happened at the end of the Patino era. Chris Mack was the most home run hire of all time
Until it
for Louisville
wasn't.
until it
Until he
wasn't.
struck out.
Until yeah. But as it turns out, you got to get back in the batter's box.
Mhm.
So the hire was a home run, and then I don't know what happened after
Yeah.
that. But the Chris Mack era ends like it was almost more sad than it was, like angry. If you're a Louisville fan, you're just like, this is just kind of like depressing, like where we've arrived. You throw in Kenny Payne and you're thinking to yourself, this is a new hope. This is it. This is at a time when John Calipari is a little
Dare I say home run higher.
home run higher. At a time when Kentucky down the road is a little shaky on shaky ground. We've talked about it on the show a time or two about the last couple seasons for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Kenny Payne's coming into Louisville, hires DJ Wagner, number one recruit in the country, one of many number one recruit in the country, but one of them ones. Hires his grandfather on the
Milt.
staff.
Yep.
Everything's looking Louisville. Amani Bates is coming to Louisville.
Yes.
He's transferred
Confirmed.
from Michigan. It is confirmed that Amani
Yes.
Bates will be going to Louisville. All signs are pointing to Louisville basketball being back, and not only being back, but being back in a big way. Master P's son or what is it? How does Master P have grandkids now? It was his son, right?
It's his son. It's Hersey, right? Hersey was gonna
Hersey.
yeah, Hersey
Well, his
Miller.
other son was like
Percy.
Percy. That's why I was
He's
confused.
Percy. The P is for Percy.
All I know is it's a family affair at Louisville, and everything was working out well. Jack Harlow, who I don't even know other than like a guy who shows up at like college game days and NBA courtside and all that
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
he's a guy who would date Lenoir-Rhyne, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd see like
Pete Davidson and Jack
Yeah.
Harlow are fighting for Lenoir-Rhyne.
TMZ's reporting that Jack
Yes.
Harlow and
Yes.
Lenoir-Rhyne were spotted at
Mhm.
Nobu,
America's
Malibu.
sweetheart, Lenoir-Rhyne.
So all of this is going on for Louisville in the offseason, and everything is rolling for the Cardinals. And then we've talked about some of the unwinding of that hype. Most famously DJ Wagner signing Nike contracts and
Mhm.
whatnot, and Amani Bates goes to Eastern Michigan. And we tried to like spin it as a positive for Louisville. That's okay. He might be more trouble than he's worth. Amani, by the way,
Looked pretty
looked
good.
pretty good. in that
Looked pretty
exhibition.
good. Yeah. As I was watching the exhibition, I was thinking to myself, man, Louisville could have really used Amani Bates.
And going into this season, I don't think there's much expected of Louisville in terms of this particular team. I don't think any certainly no Louisville fan is like we expect to even make the tournament. I don't think. But you certainly, Tate, expect to beat a Division II team, and especially a Division II team that was 10-18 last year. Is that what I saw?
Yes, you're right.
They're not even a good Division II team. This isn't a case of like when I was at Ohio State, we lost to Findlay, who I believe is the defending Division II national champion. So it was like it was the most embarrassing thing ever. And Coach Mata wrote Findlay on the board and misspelled it. And every time I walked by, I was like, should I fix it? No, I'm not gonna fix it. I've told you that story. Have I told you that story?
I knew that he wrote it on the board, but I didn't know that he spelled it wrong.
We lose our
hilarious.
exhibition game to Division II team Findlay, and he writes he spells Findlay wrong and on the dry rate, and then like puts a box around it. And the idea is like we're gonna leave that on the board. This is gonna motivate you all season. And every day of practice, I would walk by, and it's like like my eyes twitching. I'm like,
You're like picking up a marker some days. You're
Yeah.
like popping the calf. You're like, nah, not today.
I'm
not today."
weighing the risk of like if I fix this, I'm
Yeah.
definitely kicked off the team. But also like if I continue to see it misspelled, it's going to kill me. Um, But it was that embarrassing for us though. My point was it was that embarrassing that he wrote it on the board and was like, this cannot happen in this program.
Mhm.
And they were the defending national champions and were actually very, very good. So I can't imagine losing to a 10-18 Division II team by 10.
By
It wasn't
10.
even close.
No, I mean, and they were up by as many as 14 late, and they went on like a 12. They go on a 12-0 run in the second half, and basically this game, if you saw any of this game, I watched the highlights. From what you could see from Louisville's side, it was just there was no hope to be inspired. Like there wasn't like an impressive, prospect on the bench where you're like, well, this kid will develop. You know what I mean? He's young, whatever. It was like you're watching Jalen Withers and company, and it felt very
Scored 47 points against the
against a
Division
D2
II
team, and then the coach of the D2 team, Lenoir-Rhyne, was Kenny Payne's teammate at Louisville.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be the definition of a friendly exhibition game. This is supposed to be Kenny Payne's first game. Nice, easy win over Lenoir-Rhyne we've never heard of. Check the box. Everyone's excited. Jalen Withers looks great. But instead, I'm slamming the panic button.
Okay,
I'm
clear that
slamming
up.
it.
On this particular team, on Kenny Payne
on
in
the
general,
era, on the era,
on the program,
on the era, on the Kenny Payne era. Yes, not the program. The program, the program is the program.
Will
always endure.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
But
Kenny
if
Payne
I'm
era.
Kenny Payne, this is worst case start. Everything
Kenny Payne hot seat is what you're saying.
everything that Kenny Payne had promised, or what he was supposed to be, this person that comes in and gets everything back on track. He's supposed to be this amazing recruiter. Well, the two guys that we know that he flagged to bring in, DJ Wagner, now probably, let's be honest, he's going to Kentucky, or at least the Nike school. Like that's just what it is. And then you have Amani Bates. These are the two guys that, you talk to Louisville fans 8 months ago, 9 months ago, 10 months ago. They're saying, don't worry. We got DJ Wagner in the bag, and we got Amani Bates coming on the way, and we're up. Everything's trending up.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, it just feels like the plane took off, and it's not going well.
Yeah.
This is not what you want to see.
Both of the engines.
Yes.
Were hit by birds.
And we're just hoping that we can land safely.
Yeah. Dude, so here's my takeaway. From Louisville losing to a Division II team that sucks. It's time to put the banner back up. I think this program has suffered enough. I think this is officially rock bottom. Every time something bad happens to Louisville basketball, I am conditioned, like I'm sure you are, our buddy Mike Rutherford, to see what he sees or has to say about it, see what he thinks, all that kind of stuff. And my gauging of Mike is that he's just completely numb and dead inside, and it's really sad to see. Like I'm being genuine. That like there's an element of like completely checked out, and not from Mike, but like the Louisville. You know what I mean? Like the excitement was back.
Yeah,
it's now gone, and there's a feeling around the program that they're all just dead inside and just like waiting for something to make them care and feel alive again. And I think that something should be on opening night. Kenny Payne wins me back. If on opening night for Louisville, which I don't know what their schedule is, they play next Monday, maybe. He just decides, I'm going to raise the banner. We're going to raise the banner. We're going to put up double middle fingers to the NCAA. We're putting the 2013 banner back up because the punishment that Louisville has faced from basically the moment Rick Pitino was fired till now, it is cruel and unusual compared to what actually happened and everyone else, what everyone else's punishment is, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're Louisville and you just watched the national championship and you watch Kansas, who is an Adidas school doing exactly what you were basically, burned at the stake for, where they're like, this terrible program is doing this, and that. Well, so are they. They just won a national championship. No questions asked. No one even brought up the investigation that's still ongoing, and rightfully so, because it's ridiculous. It's erroneous. We all know that this is happening in college basketball. And the fact that Louisville, in 2013, we watched this team win a national championship. We had... I mean, and people really pulled for this team. This is the Kevin Ware year. I mean, this is one of the most memorable. Like
Peyton Siva's dad was awesome.
Like this is such a lovable,
Luke Hancock was like shot faking his way into Bob Knight's heart. I remember that vividly. Every game that Bob Knight called, Luke Hancock would catch it, pump fake, and Bob Knight would cream his pants. Like,
exactly.
This guy gets
he's like,
it.
why is this guy not at IU?
Yeah.
I mean, and at the time he was probably like, I'm glad this guy's not at IU. But in general, watching that game, watching that team, Montrezl Harrell as a freshman. I mean, they had Bahan and all these guys, very likable team. Rick Pitino coaching at the highest level. This is a team that should be honored. Luke Hancock is on ACC Network. He is, why do we have to do the Reggie Bush thing with him where he's like the MOP, but also wink, wink, no, he's not because it didn't happen? It happened.
It happened.
We watched it.
Yeah.
Give it back. If you're going to kill Louisville, if you're going to have to make them wade in the waters of mediocrity like they have been the past 4 or 5 years, give them the title back.
Give them the title or DJ Wagner. One or the other.
One or the other.
One or the
You
other.
choose. Hey there, thanks for watching Titus and Tate. For the full friend of the program experience, subscribe right below and come join us for all things college basketball. The action is heating up. Come join Titus and Tate.